So let's get ourselves into Sukhanasana, happy posture, to prepare ourselves for today's yoga. Cross your legs, and if you like to bring a folded blanket to put just under the buttocks, and it helps lift you up through the torso, give you a nice straight spine. You might like to even rest with a wall behind you and connect your shoulders and back of head with the wall, so you really experience how it feels to have the spine aligned. Let's take a simple mudra with our fingers, getting the tip of the index finger with the thumbs and allowing the hands to rest on the knees with the palms face up in a gesture of receptivity, making yourself open to receive. Close the eyes and draw inward. So now you can tune in and link with your rhythmic cycle of breath. Take the time to experience the breath flowing through you. And as the breath flows, enable your mind to scan your body to check for any pockets of stress or tension that you may be harbouring. And allow this tension to unravel. Allow this stress to dissipate. Levels of stress and tension cause blockages within the systems of your body, which can then send you into dis-ease. When we align our body properly, feed it good, nutritious food and thoughts, we can reduce and rid ourselves of all obstruction, to thus allow energy to flow freely and bring us into a state of ease. This, in time, can lead to true peace, happiness and bliss. And then open the eyes and release the hand mudra. To begin with, we're going to learn a shape within the hands, utilising all our fingers, which will bring great dexterity to the hands and the fingers, and will hopefully keep away the onslaught of arthritis that can happen to some of us as we grow older. So this position with the fingers, it might take a while to perfect, but stay with it, persevere and have patience and use no force. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the hands in front of you, and firstly let's turn the left hand over, and you are going to bring the index finger of the right hand to rest just atop the little pinky of the left hand. You will then take the little pinky of the right hand and rest it onto the tip of the index finger of the left hand. You then have your middle and ring finger on both hands doing nothing at the moment. So what you want to do is draw them together in the sense that on the left hand you pull the middle and the ring finger together And on the right hand, do the same. You will then slide the index finger and the little finger of the right hand down towards the palm of the left hand, thus bringing the ring finger and middle finger of the left hand over the right index finger and under the right thumb. So the same will happen on the So then you should find that you have this complete stretch of the hands and the fingers, and release. Once again, Sukhanasana, happy posture, and take a couple of rounds of breath. Absorb the work that you have completed and the greater stretch that you have given to the fingers and hands. So let's now take ourselves round to make a full connection with the mat beneath us. Bring your knees to bend, and then give yourself a bit of a round of the spinal cord, tilting your pelvis, pulling your tummy in and dropping your chin to your chest. You can walk your hands down the backs of the legs if you want to. If you feel that you've already got some core strength there and want to use the abdominals fully, then stretch the hands alongside your body and make a connection with the spine and the mat. So let's just draw the heels of our feet in a little bit closer towards our buttocks, and keeping the feet hip width apart and bringing the hands away from the hips. Let's just gently window wiper the knees from side to side, so we're freeing up the lower spine. We're mobilising the hips, just warming up to prepare for doing bridge posture. We're going to go to it in stages, so at any point if you need to rest, then do so. And then bring those knees back centrally. Let's just release the right foot and cross it over the left knee. Just have another tilt of the pelvis so that you really get that lower spine connecting with the mat. You're going to just come up onto the toes of the left foot there and gently draw that left thigh towards you as you release the left foot away. Relax in your right hip. And just gently bring that left thigh towards the trunk of your body. Keep the breath flowing and ensure that you're nice and relaxed around the neck and throat. And then gently release that, uncross that left leg, and then let's cross the left foot over the right knee, and we'll just draw that right thigh towards us, relaxing in the left hip. When you breathe in, really creating space in and around the left hip. And then release that down and uncross the left foot. Once again, drawing the heels of the feet quite close in towards the buttocks. Now we'll place the hands onto the mat alongside the hips, the fingers pointing in the same direction as the toes. Nice and slowly, we are going to begin to peel the spine away from the floor. So we really start with the tailbone, and it's a very simple tilt of the pelvis. Feel like you're pulling the coccygeal region of the spine just up and away from the mat, and then the sacrum, then the dorsal lumbar region, and then you continue to rise up, lifting the thighs, lifting the hips, the pelvis, raising the trunk of the body, bringing the chest towards the chin, and then have the chin just away from the chest slightly, almost like you want the chin to lift up towards the ceiling too. Relax the buttocks, another tilt of the pelvis. Keep the breath flowing. You might like to swallow to just clear the airway. Breathe. Be aware that you've got your toes and knees pointing forwards. You're not allowing your knees to drop in toward each other, and they're not splaying out past hip level. And then nice and gently, you're going to reverse the movement, so you're now bringing the spine back to connect with the mat, keeping that pelvis really tilted until you can feel each vertebra of the spine reconnecting with the mat. And then release. And now see if you can bring the feet even closer to the point where you're able to capture the hands around the front of the feet. And then let's once again breathe in and begin to peel the buttocks away, the lower spine, the mid-spine, really rising up. Now you want to keep your head and neck positioned centrally, so your gaze is either to the ceiling or toward your rising torso, bringing the chest toward the chin, ensuring that you keep those knees and feet pointing to the wall in front of you. You might want to just draw the shoulder blades towards each other, bring the shoulders closer. And then nice and gently once again reversing the movement so that you're bringing the spine to reconnect with the mat. And then just coming up onto the tiptoes, and then bring the knees in towards you and give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock from side to side. And then return centrally and soften around the shoulders. Release the feet back to the mat. So we're going to do that again, the half bridge. We will be straightening the legs during this next part of the practice. If you feel that this is not for you, then just continue to practice with the legs and knees bent. So let's take a breath in as we tilt our pelvis and start picking up the bones from the base of the spine, rising through the torso, lifting the lower back, the mid back, and just draw those shoulders underneath you a little more. You might like to now bring the hands to rest into the sides of the body. It really tips you up further. See if you can come up onto your tiptoes. Remember to keep your head and neck still. Do not turn it from side to side. Keep the chest travelling towards the chin and the chin toward the chest. Your gaze up to the ceiling or towards your risen torso. And then nice and gently, see if you can straighten the left leg. Keep those hips equal. Keep the breath flowing. And then bring that left foot to place back in its original position. And now release the right foot and straighten the right leg, stretching through into the toes, relaxing down through the muscles of the right leg. Try not to have any tension in the toes, and then bring the right foot to place it back in its original position. So your feet are hip width apart, your knees and your toes and your shins all facing the wall in front of you. And then let's straighten the left leg and straighten the right leg, and keep the breath flowing, the teeth unclenched, and then bringing the feet back to their position, and slowly and with control releasing the hands and allowing the spine to once again return its full connection with the mat. You might like to breathe in and draw the knees in towards you and give yourself a hug. And then gently release to that preliminary foundation of the posture, knees bent. And then just place the hands onto the stomach and windshield wiper the knees once again from side to side. Neck and throat soft. Unfurrow the brow. And then returning to a central position. Bring your left hand to rest at your heart center. Bring your right hand to rest onto the belly. And just gentle pressure with both hands so that you can really connect and possibly feel the beat of your heart and experience the synchronicity of the belly rising and falling with the chest. And then release. And then let's go to the fullest part of this half bridge posture variation. Remember, only go forward if you feel you have the strength and capability in your practice today. If not, you can always watch the video through and then maybe give it a go. Remember, there is no rush, no force necessary. So gently we'll begin to tilt the pelvis, peeling the base of the spine away from the mat, drawing the trunk of the body upward, lifting the hips and the pelvis toward the ceiling, keeping our hips, thighs, knees, shins, feet and toes all in that lovely straightforward alignment. It's almost like it's on two tracks. The knees are not dropping in towards each other. You could always put possibly a cushion in between the thighs to ensure that they stay that distance apart. You might want to just roll those shoulder blades towards each other, coming onto the shoulders a little further. Bend the elbows and get the hands into the lower back and the sides. Have your thumbs round to the sides. Don't practice with the thumbs under the back. So let's extend the legs to straighten. Keep the hips level, and without dropping the right hip, let's pick the right foot up and then straighten, taking the toes towards the ceiling. So you really want to lift that right hip and get it in line with the left hip. And then lower it down. And then without dropping the left hip, we're going to pick the left foot up, stretch it up towards the ceiling, keep the breath flowing, and slowly lower it down, and then walk those feet back. And then release the hands, keep those hips raised as you gently relax the shoulders out. Begin to lower the spine down, making its connection, full connection, so you really do keep pulling the tummy in and tilting the pelvis so that you can feel each vertebra of the spine connect. And then once it's on the mat, a nice deep breath in as you bring the thighs close towards the torso, bending the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Take a breath in, engage the stomach and raise the nose, bring it towards the knees. And then exhale and release. Let those legs stretch and straighten, extending away from the hips. Relax your hands either side of the body, palms of the hands face the ceiling, knuckles into the mat. Chin draws down gently toward the chest so that you rest centrally on the back of your head. And let go. Give up the weight of your body to the earth beneath you. Allow yourself to be supported by the earth that is under you. With every exhalation, you let go further and deeper, allowing yourself to become light and weightless. Any tension, any stress unravels and dissipates and gets burnt up into the atmosphere, leaving you released, relaxed, spacious. Peel the tongue away from the roof of your mouth and allow it to float centrally. It will swell in the mouth and touch on the teeth as you let go. And this time is precious. It is your precious time to do absolutely nothing at all. No movement is required, no thought necessary. Free your mind, release, and let go. And in these blissful moments of nothingness, you are able to refresh, replenish, and rejuvenate. Make these your affirmative words of the day. Refresh, replenish, rejuvenate. And then you can wiggle the fingers and toes, open the eyes, using the ears, listen outside of the room for any distant noises that can help sharpen your sense of sound. And then have a stretch. Take the hands up over the head and have a full body stretch from toes to fingertips, aligning flesh and muscle to bone as nature intended. Take a deep breath in and then taking the hands to the ceiling, the breath out. You might like to do this again. Stretch the hands up over the head, reach into fingers, stretch into toes, breathe in. And then fingers to ceiling as you the breath out. Scoop yourself up. Cross-legged position, Sukhanasana, happy posture. Bring the hands together at the heart. Give yourself thanks for your practice. Remember, gratitude is a very powerful expression of the self. And stay safe in the knowledge that yoga is bountiful, abundant, and good for you.